Season 4 Reloaded just received a patch on July 9th, and I have the best working glitches for you guys, including guides for the brand new Get Higher game mode, as well as the brand new Unstable Rifts from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies in Season 4 Reloaded, allowing you to unlock the rarest camos in the game right now. These are sick. You should definitely do these, so be sure that you subscribe to keep up with all the latest guides and glitches. Now, with all that being said, here is every single glitch and guide in this video, so make sure you like and subscribe to support, and with all that said, enjoy. What's going on, guys? Wesley here. Hopefully I'm the very first person to show you how the Unstable Rift operates and exactly what you need to do to not only unlock it but beat it with ease and unlock this sick camo that just came out. This is going to be super rare and a lot of people will not be able to complete this to unlock it, so make sure you smash that like button down below and subscribe. Thank you so much to my 20,000 subscribers. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me in my dream in this. If you haven't joined me already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what you need to do in order to unlock this, including the obelisk challenge and all the locations in which you may need it. Now make sure that you hit that subscribe button to support me. Let's get right into this. So there's multiple different things that you need to do in order to unlock the Unstable Rift, and they spawn at random locations. Not only that, but there's multiple different items that I highly suggest that you bring in with you to the Unstable Rift if you want to have any chance whatsoever to completing it, because I'll tell you right now at the beginning of this video, this thing is hard towards the end, and people can talk all they want as far as saying, oh, I easily completed it with this, or I did this. I'm telling you guys, it is difficult for the average player. So I'm going to show you the best way to complete it. I did it with 6 players, but I'm going to show you how to do it with 4 or less. With all that said, let's not waste any more time. Let me get into exactly what you need. So I have this slow motion video of my inventory to show you guys exactly what you need. Now this is just my inventory and you can do some tweaks yourself, but things that I highly suggest that you bring no matter what: a pack-a-punched tier 3 scorcher, which I'll explain why in a second. Also ether blades, heavy distraction items such as dog bones, a VR11 that's upgraded, brain rot on your tier 3 pack-a-punch bullet weapon. It does not matter. Things that can actually distract zombies, those are going to help you a ton. Now other than that, you're also going to need every single ammo mod on your team, so make sure that at least one of each ammo mod is available to your team. Alternatively, you can obviously find them in ether nests in the game and things of that nature, so just go and search if you want to do it that way. But you have a limited amount of time to actually complete this, which is obviously the entirety of that round of zombies. So when you get into it, there was a glitch actually where it would turn black and not load the game. That has since fixed, so if you get an infinite black screen, I'm sorry to say that glitch is still happening, but they fixed it. We actually completed the Unstable Rift 2 times for this video, so when you get in there, these items will help you to the best of your abilities complete it. Alright, so now that you have the items that you need in order to unlock the Unstable Rift, or rather survive it, what we're going to be doing is looking around the map for 3 different obelisks. Now they're going to spawn at random locations. Now I've noticed that they are at certain POIs, and I'm going to show you the ones that we have, but as soon as I have all of the locations, and you know it's on Google and it's in a guide, you will see it in the pinned comment below this video. I will make sure that you guys have all the information possible, but my priority here was to show you guys exactly how to do it right now. You don't have to Google, you don't have to look around, you don't have to watch streams for 2 hours while your favorite streamer successfully does it. I have the guide right here. So what you're essentially going to do is each one of these obelisks requires a particular ammo mod. Now the person who has the ammo mod, to my understanding, needs to activate the obelisk, and they also need to be the person to kill zombies in the circle around it. So you can see this one has a symbol at the bottom, and those players who actually have the ammo mod will be the ones who kill the zombies. All right, so otherwise you just sit around and just look pretty. What you're going to do is just complete all 3 of these obelisks and you're going to get some rewards. The rewards do not actually matter. What matters is where the locations are. So another location that it could be possible in is on top of the hill in tier 3. Now these can be in tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, and they're typically at POIs. In my opinion, they're very easy to find. Now the reason for this is simple. They are randomly placed throughout the map and you need to complete them, but as soon as you complete them, the portal will open and every single person in the game will see that portal. So that's what they were talking about in the patch notes about being the first person to the portal. They don't just spawn in the game, you have to unlock them and then you have to rush to it. So that's why you absolutely need a scorcher. In fact, I suggest that your entire team has pack-a-punch level 3 scorchers while you're still above ground. Even though entering this apparently upgrades all your weapons to tier 3, I still suggest that you upgrade your scorcher in advance so you can fly over to the Unstable Rift and be the first team to actually do it, because if you're not, you are likely going to have to complete the 3 obelisks again to unlock the next one, or spawn another one. So once you're done all 3 obelisks, this is where you need to panic. You're going to see the unstable rift is going to actually spawn. Now, there are a set amount of locations this can spawn in the map. We're not going to know until in a couple of weeks once everyone has done it multiple times and found out exactly where it can spawn. But what I can tell you is there are definitely set locations, because this one looks very symmetrical. It's right under in the center of this tower, but you need to be the first team to actually get to this portal. So once you make it to the portal, make sure that you interact with it and get that countdown going, because while the countdown is going, you cannot teleport. You can't use it. So for example, if another team gets there, which actually for us it did, you can't actually interact. You can see them on the mini map there. Luckily, they did not accept the votes in time, so we were able to take this portal. If you don't make it in time and someone else takes it, I imagine, this is just me presuming, again, we won't know until people do it multiple times, that you will need to go find those obelisks and do the essentially the sequence again. So once you make it in, let me explain. There are multiple key differences in here. So apparently when you come in here, it will triple pack-a-punch your weapons. Now I suggest that you already upgrade your Scorcher to level 3, because that'll allow you to quickly fly over to the unstable rift and be the first team there. That could just be one player if you want, and you could save your inventory spaces for other things. I don't think that you're going to need those things, because if you follow what I've told you today, I think you can do this. But guys, keep in mind the later rounds for this are extremely hard. Now, a couple of other differences: it disables Tombstone. You might notice down below, I have every single perk except for Tombstone. When I went in, I believe I did have Tombstone, but I've already confirmed this with multiple other people. It takes away Tombstone from you. So this is all or nothing. You either succeed or you lose all of your crap. So it's unfortunate, but it is the reality. Now, lastly, random tombstones will spawn in the corners and they will give you power-ups such as nukes, max ammo, max armor, etc. It really isn't that big of a deal, because again, the later rounds are extremely hard. You need to be playing, you know, the best of your abilities, and you also need to have a lot of distractions. So things like brain rot, things like the VR11 upgraded that transforms zombies into people, which are, you know, obviously soldiers, are distractions. Things of that nature. Decoy grenades, the Casimir grenades, those are huge. Casimir grenades, zombies, you know, as you may know, periodically drop them, you know, in the dark ether. So phase 1, it's not that difficult. At the end of the phase, you're going to get a named monster similar to a bounty contract in the dark ether. None of them will be mega abominations. I have not seen a mega abomination in all 5 rounds that we did this. When we completed it, you don't get some huge boss, but you do get a named tier 4 boss, is my understanding. So as you can see, once you have done that, you're going to get a reward rift. And from my experience, or at least the 5 rounds that we did, it will be things like self revives. It will be things like score streaks. Those things you need to hold on to. It's a little bit of a foreshadow. I think that the developers did this on purpose, because round 5, like I said, is extremely hard. We're going to get to that in a second. So round 2 here, it picks up a little bit. Now here's where I'm going to give you a suggestion as to where to stand. I highly suggest that a majority of your team be in the center square right here on the little scaffoldings, or whatever you want to call this little checkerboard here, and make sure that you have each other's backs. This should be all the people who have Scorchers. They should be in the box, in my opinion, because what it's going to allow you to do is focus on specific points. There's only so many spots that zombies can actually jump into the square. So what's important is that you keep firing off your Scorcher. Now, what I've noticed lately, I'm not sure if they updated it and nerfed the Scorcher a little bit, really not sure here, but typically lately I've been running out of Scorcher ammo, you know, when I'm firing it off. Typically I can wait a couple of seconds and do it, but it seems to be running out quicker. I have no idea, but the point is that you should stay in the middle. That is my huge suggestion. And you should also save your score streaks and save your dogs if you can. In retrospect, like looking back, right, you don't know until you know, right? I highly suggest that you save your dogs until the later rounds. Don't even spawn the dogs. I probably said something different before, but just listen to me and let me walk you through everything, because I learned a lot and it is very complicated stuff. But if I explain it to you, it will be a lot easier for you to actually digest this. So essentially every single round is going to have a countdown. This is us starting round 4. Round 4 and 5, guys, it's completely different. It is very hectic, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's not the easiest thing in the world. I would argue that this is the most difficult challenge in Modern Warfare Zombies right now. This was very difficult for 6 of us, and let me just kind of preface this by saying I believed in every single person that I was playing with. They were all good. So shout out to Drop It Like It's Hot, or Raw Liquid, as I know you now. Shout out to Mrs. Squanch, El Jefe, Shout out to Mr. Slim, Crazy Andy, Nori, everyone. Thank you so much for helping me out. You guys, you need 4 people minimum, all right? These players were good is my point, and I just want to say that it was pretty difficult in the later rounds. Your biggest, helper, in my opinion, are distractions, not kill streaks, not pack-a-punch level 3 weapons. If everyone wants to bring in a bullet gun, they better all have brain rot by the time that you get into this challenge, because what that's going to allow you to do is have these soldiers or have these zombies with brain rot running around distracting all of the heavy zombies. And as you can see, we had players going down constantly. The last thing that I would highly suggest that you do is make sure that you have healing aura. Healing aura is absolutely the meta for this challenge, and I'll tell you why. Because there were multiple times when we had 3 players go down, right? 3 out of 6. There were multiple times that we had 4 or 5 people go out, and we almost lost the game. But thankfully, someone had a self-revive. Thankfully, someone had, a dog that was still alive, or, maybe they had something else. But as you can see, for every single time that I got a self-revive, I grabbed it. I replaced anything. It did not matter what it was. And as you can see, I started to stack my kill streaks. These help out for the last round. So here we go. Round 5. This was hard. I am not gonna lie to you guys, this was extremely difficult, but the good news for you is that you have all of these tips that I've given you today in order to complete this to the best of your ability. So again, stay in the middle, cause distractions early and often, and make sure that you are keeping track of your team's health and your healing aura. So I would highly suggest that you essentially back up healing auras. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you have your healing aura, as you can see, I do not have mine right now, you need to be communicating to your teammates and say, hey, I have healing aura ready, who else has it ready? And keep doing status checks so that you can say, okay, you do this, then you do this, and you do this. The last thing I would say is watch out for juggernauts. If your teammate has a juggernaut kill streak, watch out, because I literally died, and no, you do not come back. You can see it says standby for redeployment. You never come back. So if you die from getting crushed by a juggernaut, for example, then you are screwed. However, you are still going to unlock the camo, so do not leave the game. I tested this out for you guys. I did die before the end of the game, which was so unfortunate. You have no idea how upset I was at that point. All of that said, it did not prevent me from unlocking the camo, like I said, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to get a quote-unquote unstable rift that will spawn at the end, and you will get Mark of the Survivor, which is a sick rare camo that you are going to get for completing this. Not a lot of people are going to be able to complete this. This is very difficult, and I suspect that they are going to nerf this a little bit later and make it a little bit easier for players. I can't imagine, guys, that it's going to stay this hard. It is very difficult, but here's what's going to happen whenever you successfully exfil. So it's similar to the Dark Aether, right, where when you successfully exfil and it says successful exfil and gives you all the benefits and everything like that. But here's the kicker, guys. When you complete this, you are going to get all of your schematics. Just absolutely, the cooldowns are going to be absolved. So the exact amount of time is 72 hours. And this is actually Mrs. Squanch's POV, because again, I just sat in there and my screen turned black and I just left the game. But as soon as you complete round 5, you actually unlock the camo. So lucky me. But as you can see there on the right, it says 72 hours. That's it, guys. That's the full guide on the Unstable Rift. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for 20,000 subscribers and all the support. And I will catch you in the next video. Oh, and by the way, comment down bananas down below if you've watched up until this point. I really appreciate you specifically. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Get Higher is back, and with it comes 3 sick new camos, 2 of which are animated. What's going on, guys? Wesley here. I'm back. Thank you for waiting for me. I've been off on vacation for a week, and I'm going to show you guys the simplest guide for these camos. Now, it's extremely easy for you to actually achieve 2 of these, but one of them is pretty difficult, completing the course in 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to give you shorthand notes that will help you find the coins extremely quickly, as well as how you can complete the course with a full breakdown of my sub 10-minute run. So let's get right into it with the coin locations. I'm not going to waste any of your time. Down below, you're going to find shorthand notes that I've written for you to make it easier for you. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep going. So first of all, you're going to go to 22 meters up. Now, with each of these coin locations with the shorthand notes, I'm going to have a description of where it is as well as the meters. So you're going to find this little pillar here. This one will have a small hole in it. Go ahead and grab your your coin, take the teleporter, and you will get back to the checkpoint. Keep on progressing through the course. I highly suggest that you play this on your own, by the way, before you even try to find these coins, because it will make your life a lot easier. The first time that I did this, I did not know the course, and I actually could not complete it in time. So as you can see, number 2 is right after those spinny objects, very easy to find. Now number 3 is right around the corner of the 3rd checkpoint, I believe. It's at 61 meters. You're gonna run around the corner here, and just as a reminder, guys, these coins make noises, so make sure that your speakers are turned up so that you can actually hear them. Kind of sounds like a gold chest opening, if you will, kind of a biblical sound, if you will. So once you actually progress through the course a little bit more, you're gonna find this next one at 105 meters. That's quite a while, so you're gonna progress through this course about 40 meters before you find the next one. But right after this one, you're going to find the next one at the shipping crates. This one is a little tricky to find. It's at 112 meters, and what you're going to do is just simply go on the right side of these shipping crates, climb them up, and get all the way to the end here, and then immediately just strafe jump back in. That is the easiest way to kind of situate yourself and find this. They can be very confusing because they're cut off and they're shaped weirdly, everything like that. So the next one, you're going to find 2 of them in quick succession at meters 146. Now in the lower area, make sure you walk the beam and you will find number 6, but directly below 6, you will see that air vent there. You want to drop down. This one took me a couple of attempts. I died a couple of times, obviously, because of these spikes below. And once you have made it in, you just want to crawl your way through, or rather crouch your way through, and grab that coin. You are now already at 7 out of 12 in what we're like 2-3 minutes into the video. So the next one that you're going to find is at meters 162. You're going to have a glass floor section with these blocks. You need to get to the upper area and then just simply jump and grab it as you're running through. Very easy to do, just kind of move back and forth depending on which block is further away. Right after this, you're going to see the departure section. This is the plane section that has yet another coin. So what you're going to do is you're going to run along and jump on the wing here, drop below. And guys, by the way, if you need to rerun this, make sure that you do, so that you know exactly where these coins are. You can also run at 2 times playback speed. That is a YouTube feature. So next one you're going to find at 190 meters. Simply drop down those platforms at checkpoint 16 and you will find it. So that's 190 meters. Again, checkpoint 16, the door will be on the left. Then at checkpoint 18, you will simply find the coin sitting there behind the flag. Very easy. That is found at 208 meters, and you want to follow your way through. Now you're down to 1 coin, and the last one is going to be found right before the end of the course. You're going to drop down to the right here. You're going to see the GH logo for Get Higher, and you're going to go ahead and make your way into that vent. Now within this vent is the final coin. However, that does not unlock you the camo. That is unfortunate because you need to do one more step. You need to fully complete the camo. Now the description for it, or rather the challenge, the description for it, you're going to need to reach the castle, as it says. So you may wonder what the hell that means. It simply means that you need to keep walking up the staircase, and as you can see, I did not realize that. So I stood there and I was wondering to myself, what is going on? So I went ahead and made my way up to the top, and what's going to happen is if you grabbed all of the coins for the course, you will then reach the castle because you have 12 out of 12 whenever you go through the portal. So I was wondering here, and so was this guy. We were like, okay, what's going on? And then once you actually pass through the portal, here you are in the castle, and you have unlocked Synth Bust. You've reached the castle, and you can utilize this camo to your liking. This is my second favorite camo. Ironically enough, the most challenging camo to unlock is the one that I enjoy the most. So let's go over it. So this is my sub 10-minute run. All right, so this is a little bit difficult to do, but I'm gonna run you through just tips as I'm going through the course here. It'll only take a few minutes of your time. It'll make it a lot easier for you to understand this course, but I highly suggest that even if you're watching this while you're playing or what have you, just make sure that you play this course multiple times and practice it, because it will not be easy for you to do this on your first time. People can sit there and say it was extremely easy for them. They did it first try. A lot of people, a large majority of people, will not be able to do this on their first try simply because they don't know what the shortcuts are and they don't understand this course. But this is about my 7th or 8th time playing this course. I was trying to find the coins and get a good understanding because obviously as a YouTuber, I want to show you guys kind of clear, discernible instructions rather than just run through the course and try to, you know, make sure I get a world record time or something like that. So once you're going through the first couple of checkpoints to this course, they're very, very brain dead, very easy to do. You just simply slide through these objects, but in a minute, you're going to see a couple of difficult paths that I take shortcuts on. Not only that, but major suggestions, if you will. I definitely don't want you guys to be wasting your time. I found myself trying to get first place every single time, just like the last map. The last map is a lot easier though, and it is a lot less punishing. This map is very punishing. So first of all, these moving blocks, you can obviously jump onto the objects or mantle them immediately as soon as they are out there. But you want to make sure if they're already there, take your time, guys, because one thing that I noticed when trying to get this 10-minute run is stop trying to be first and simply try to be sub 10 minutes. So what I mean by that is the game starts off with 15 minutes. You can see it there up on the left. Just simply make sure that you complete the course before 5 minutes is left. It's that simple. So with that being said, you want to be much safer than you actually think. You don't need to absolutely rush this thing, but you do need to be quick. I'm not gonna lie, I completed this and I had about 2 minutes or a minute and a half left, and I am very quick with my movements. Now for this section, huge suggestion here, wait for that first one to go back in and then immediately run at a diagonal, and you will make it every single time. In my experience, I did that about 5 times in a row and I never run into issues with that section. But if you take your time and wait for the blocks, that section alone will add about 30 to 45 seconds to your run. That is a huge thing. So mimic exactly what I did on that last section. Now for these moving blocks, simply run at a slight diagonal, the opposite direction that they're rotating. So in other words, they were rotating right, run slightly to the left and just sprint the entire time, and you should be able to go through. Those are by far the easiest objects for me. Once you figure them out, they are super easy. Also utilize sliding. So you can see these are just mantles. I'm not going to give you suggestions here. There is nothing to speed up, but as you're running through, anytime that you have flat land like right here, make sure that you are sliding. I didn't follow that advice all the time, but as you can see, sometimes I'll remember and you'll see me kind of slide through the course. Now you can do the coins, you can do the 10 minutes and the completion of the entire course all in one game. That's how you unlock all 3 camos, if you didn't know. But in my experience, it just makes it more difficult. And if you have the time on your hands, i.e. you have like 30 minutes of time, you can complete this entire thing. Now it took me a little bit longer than that because again, I'm trying to get good footage for you guys so I can explain it to you. I have a little bit more of a responsibility than just unlocking the camo. But as you can see, you want to just take your time. I got a little bit hesitant, or rather a little bit too aggressive on some of these sections. And as you can see with the shipping containers, likely killed 5 to 10 seconds just on that. So you want to take whatever the easiest path is possible. So as you can see, I took the right path here. The left one on those shipping containers is actually much more dangerous, if you will. And as you're running through here, just make sure you're hitting your dives and your slides. There are literally signs that tell you what to do, so just make sure that you're careful there. But as you're going up, a lot of these things are about timing. So if you run into situations like this one, as you can see, I waited for it, and for whatever reason I took the lower half. You don't want to take the lower half on this section, take the upper path. But since I actually made it there, again, if you show up in a block, a moving block rather, is already there and waiting for you, just simply wait for the next one. That is my suggestion, because you may kill a couple of seconds, but you won't die. And some places on this map, when you die, you literally lose about 30 seconds. It'll send you back about like 20 meters wherever the last checkpoint is. Again, it is much more unforgiving. So as you can see here, I'm taking my time with each individual section. This one, you cannot do 2 sections at once. Just know that, or at least it is extremely hard. If it is possible, do not try it. Just simply take your time. Again, like I just said a minute ago, make sure that you're taking the safe paths here. Make sure you're taking whatever the smartest path is to actually go through and make your time. You can see right now I have 10 minutes left. I'm at 165 meters out of 230. We are making amazing time. So when you're going through here, just make sure that you are following the order that I do. For these, make sure that you are sprinting in the opposite direction at about like a 70% angle, if you will. Don't immediately run in the opposite direction. You will run off, and don't walk that object, you will fall. So make sure as you're going through these, obviously, you're mantling, you know how to mantle, but while you're going through this next section, make sure that you wait until as soon as it arrives, like so, and slide through. That one is actually very quick. That will trick you. Luckily, the flag is right behind you, as well as this block, which is pretty fast. Now for these, I always like to alternate. So whatever is moving, that is the one that I attack. And once it's actually past me, towards the end you'll actually get cut off. You can strafe jump back on or just take your time there. Now these are arguably my most hated part of the course. If you don't time this right, then you completely screw it up, and they're very slow, don't get me wrong, they're very easy to conquer, but if you're like me and your mind is moving, you know, ADHD style at 1,000 miles an hour, you will mess those up because they rotate back in. This section, I highly suggest that you go to the right. It's kind of a fake out. That room is supposed to be the shortcut. It is not. It is much harder. There is a coin hidden within there, but otherwise, if you're not going for the coins, it's worthless. And then right here, you want to mantle and then aim. So just know that that is something that actually took me about 20-30 seconds to figure out because I'm stupid. And then right after this section, this is a huge timing moment. So first of all, when you're shooting with this wall, you want to make sure that you're very careful to wait until you're above the platform. I am, again, someone who is very impatient, so I waited the second time around until I was right above those. So any of these large blocks that you run into, like this one right here and the one that was somewhere in the course beforehand, you have two instances of those large, fat, if you will, moving boxes. Those, they only move once. You don't have to jump around. You're going to see some blocks here in a second that you have to jump from one to another as they each move up, you know, a little bit more and more. Those sections with those fat blocks, remember, just it's one box. Don't jump onto another box and be lowered and waste your time. Now with these, do not jump. Do not jump on these moving platforms whatsoever. I don't suggest it. Just simply walk to the ones that you know are going to end up at the end. It's going to take you a couple of tries to actually understand what the most, fastest path is with those moving platforms. This one, these are skinny blocks. So again, they are not fat blocks. So you want to jump from one to the other. So they're a little bit confusing. This is what I'm talking about, guys. If you run through this course a few times, it will help you a lot in understanding and just getting that muscle memory down so that you can actually unlock the 10-minute camo. Because that one, I'm not lying to you, a lot of people are not going to be able to unlock it because simply they do not have the controller mechanical skills, if you will, or the reaction time to actually complete this course in 10 minutes or less. Now here we are towards the end. This is section 21. Now this is super easy to do. I would highly suggest that you strafe jump into the middle and then just simply try to mantle one before they raise. Unfortunately, I did not make it in time. Regardless, just try to get to the end and then just simply wait for it to raise you. And congratulations, you have finished it within 10 minutes. You can see I had about 1 minute and 42 seconds left. And I'm a pretty quick mover, guys. I did fail a couple of times, but you'll be greeted with some fireworks. I was able to get first place in this one, I believe. I'm not honestly 100% sure because I can't even read that damn scoreboard on the left. I believe that's me in second. So the first place person is at 705, which is absolutely ridiculous. I guess they're just running through the course over and over again. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Regardless, it doesn't matter, guys. Congratulations for unlocking this camo. I hope that this guide was helpful. Just by completing it within 10 minutes, you will unlock both the camo to complete the course as well as the under 10 minutes camo. So at this point, you should have all 3 camos for the Get Higher map. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more. I appreciate your support. I'm going to keep pumping out videos, guys. I'm back, so thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. What's going on, everyone? Wesley here, and today I'm going to be showing you all the methods for the Tombstone duplication glitch in Season 4 Reloaded. Now, hopefully today you will not have any questions, but if you do, make sure that you leave them down below in the description. I try to keep things as helpful as possible on my channel, so make sure you smash that subscribe button if you are not already. So I'm going to show you exactly how to max out your rucksack and your acquisition stash and the various ways that you can do the Tombstone duplication glitch. One of those ways was actually patched with the Season 4 Reloaded update, but we will go over that in a minute. So let's hop right in. So as you can see, I have a rucksack full of items, but I also have a tombstone on the map. Now, if you haven't done the Tombstone duplication glitch before, this is essentially the benefit. This is the piece de la resistance, right? So this is the best situation that you can possibly be in. I have all of the same items. I have spares of each item. You can see I have 5 total Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystals. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is typically what I run into as an issue every single time that I come into the game, is I have too many rare items of particular types. So you just need to do a little bit of inventory management, but otherwise you are good. So where we're going to be doing this glitch is at the bad signal portal. So make sure that you have bad signal actually selected. If you don't, you just need to throw a Aether blade at it towards the top if you find it. One Average Dan actually showed that in one of his videos. It's very simple, but generally speaking, you have access to the mission, so you should just have it selected, because it's not like it's going to take forever for you to actually do this glitch. It's very simple. So what we're going to be doing is going into the building behind Bad Signal. I already showed you where it was on the map. You can see I have all the items that I want to duplicate, as well as Tombstone equipped. So that's why it's important to have a can of Tombstone in your backpack if you want, because then you can duplicate that can, and every single time that you come into the game, you have a bunch of rare items and you immediately get Tombstone. You can also kind of switch that inventory spot with Essence and save an inventory spot. It's really up to you how you do this glitch. I prefer the can because, let's be honest, I don't need a large rucksack full of items every single time. But so if you have the Essence, just go ahead and go find Tombstone. Otherwise, you are good to go. So you have the items that you want to duplicate and you have Tombstone equipped. Let's show you exactly how to do this. So you're going to need 1,000 Essence at this point once you have Tombstone equipped. If you don't have Tombstone, 3,000 Essence total, or a can of Tombstone and 1,000. So the location I like to use, I like to call Potion DU, because that's what it looks like, right? But long story short, there's multiple different locations that you can do. All you need to do is just purchase the portal, and I'm going to show you exactly where it is real quick, just as an example. This spawns you at a water tower, and I always run to the right like this, kind of strafe run, jump off and use my parachute, and you can get to the edge of the map quickly. If you don't know what the Tombstone duplication glitch is, long story short, you are going out of bounds and essentially being eliminated as you're teleporting to Bad Signal. And what happens is the game registers you as dying, which then sets your Tombstone, but at the same time you teleport to the mission, which obviously is you being alive. So you're going to keep your items. So once you've done that, you're actually going to close the game, which I will show you in a second. So let's go to the portal now, and I'm going to do it for real. So there's multiple different codes that you can actually use. I'm going to put them on screen now. The only two that I suggest is 19 and 24. 19 is for the general public, I would say. 19 is spawns you at a beach, and then you just run to the edge of the beach. I'm not going to show it because it's extremely simple. I would suggest teleporting and checking it out before you actually, you know, do a dry run, essentially, right? So anyway, so you purchase the portal, and then you want to go over to the Bad Signal portal. So you don't need a Scorcher for this, but if you have a Scorcher, it makes it much faster. You just need to run there and back. You should make it to the portal by around 10 seconds. Then once you get to the edge of the map, stop right near the edge and accept the vote. Once you've accepted the vote, keep in mind you can do this as a team if you want. Everyone just needs to walk out at 6 seconds if they want to do the Tombstone duplication. Anyone who doesn't will essentially just teleport to Bad Signal. So at this point, you want to close the game as soon as you see Dark Aether zombies at the top left. On PC, it's Alt F4. On consoles, just look it up. It's very simple to close games. On Xbox, I think you press the Xbox button, scroll over the game, click start, and then click quit. PS5, I think you have to use the game switcher. But there's multiple different locations that you can use, like I said. So I'm actually going to show you the beach now. I actually forgot that I had this footage in the film, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to run straight to the edge of the map, and it's super simple to do, and you just get there. So I would suggest that you run straight through the water. Make sure that you run as the bird flies, as they say, which means a direct path. Don't run around rocks. Don't run around the edge of the water. Run straight for the edge of the map, and you do the exact same thing as you would by the water tower. Walk out at 6 seconds. What that's going to do is you're going to have all of your items in your rucksack, and when you go back into the game, you're also going to have a Tombstone with whatever items that you ended the game with. This is why it's important, because every single time that you go into the game, right, you're going to have these items, you can use them immediately, and then when you get to your Tombstone, then you just simply replace those items in your inventory, you pick what you want to save for the next game, and you repeat the process. So this is where things happen, right? So for example, I have an Aether blade equipped to me. Obviously, I'm going to start having a backup of Aether blades because I don't need one every game. Now, there's also an alternative way that you can do this. With the blood burner, if you drive out onto water and get off of it, it's going to teleport back to land. So if you get off of it and hop back on really quickly, which I highly suggest if you're going to do this method, which is a little bit more laid back than the one I just showed you, that you practice it a little bit. So with this one, you want to go to countermeasures, which you're going to have to either complete or have selected, and then you want to just simply activate it, drive back onto the water, get off and get back on, and it'll teleport you to the edge of the map. So you can do this at any edge of the map, just for the record, but I would suggest the top right or the northeast. So once you Once you get over here, you just step out on this rock. It's very simple, and as you can see, it's super laid back. You can get to the edge of the map extremely quickly. So I highly suggest this method if you're someone who like has trouble with quick movement or making it there on time, or you know, the bad signal method is a little bit hard for you. That's totally cool. Every single one of these methods will you know, allow you to do the Tombstone duplication glitch. So if this one works better for you, do this one. So one thing that was patched though was the unlimited essence glitch. So here's the original footage. Originally, you can actually go down with you know, say you're on a team, right? You leave your squad, you go down with all of the essence from your team with Tombstone on you, and then you plead for help. And what would happen is Tombstone would get taken away from you, and a Tombstone would be set for next game. So like, for example, if you left or died after that, after going down and pleading for help, there would be a Tombstone wherever you pled for help, right? So you would lose the large rucksack that you had, but you see that I have 70,000 essence on this account right now. What would happen right here once I plead for help and then I get picked back up is essentially there would be a Tombstone with 70,000 essence. You would then share it with your teammate or your ex-teammate at this point, and then they would repeat the process. They would plead for help while down, and then you would pick them back up like so. And what that would do is set 2 Tombstones with 70,000 essence, thus doubling it. Don't ask me how that works. Essentially, they had a lack of oversight. It is now patched. You cannot do it anymore. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you have any questions on the Tombstone duplication glitch methods, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to help you out. And with all that said, I'll catch you in the next video. Today, I have a game-breaking glitch to show you guys that you can abuse to unlock all camos, max out your battle pass, and much more. It's so good that I regularly get back-to-back nukes in multiplayer, along with averaging 100+ kills per game. All in about 2 minutes of effort, you can disable skill-based matchmaking and dominate every single lobby you join. So with that, make sure you hit that like button to support and subscribe if you haven't already. In the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to teach you start to finish how to turn off skill-based matchmaking and get bot lobbies every single time. So let's jump right into the requirements. Here we are in the main menu on my alt account. I have a main account on my PC, and this is my alt account on my Xbox. We'll get into that in a minute, but you can do this glitch with a friend or with a separate account on a separate device. This does not work with split screen on the same device, just as an FYI. What we're gonna be doing essentially is hijacking someone's lobby. I'll explain more what I mean by that in a minute, but follow me here. So first step is you want to take a fresh account or one that does not play multiplayer regularly and search for team deathmatch or small map mosh pit or some similar playlist. And what you want to do is play like an absolute bot. When you get into game, don't sprint, play objective, or hit your shots. Hold down the trigger, run in circles. It doesn't really matter. Just simply play kind of like how I'm doing here, kind of mimic what I'm doing. And after about 5 to 10 games, you should notice that your lobbies are absolute bots now. At this point, you have trained the search algorithm to give you low skill lobbies, and what this is doing is essentially setting you up so that you can then abuse this matchmaking that this player is getting on your main account. So let's get into how you can actually do that. Alright, so here we are in the menu with that same account. With that level 8 account that I just showed you, I have low skill lobbies whenever I search for a game, I can already tell. So what we're going to do is get my PC account set up on the side and waiting. So the preferred playlist that I like to use is Small Map Mosh Pit. This has been the one that I've been getting back-to-back nukes on. It's been very, very easy to, you know, abuse and utilize for this and getting camos and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and search for a lobby here, but what you're essentially going to be doing is joining while this player is searching. So as you can see, it starts to search, and I'm on my PC account here, which is going to be labeled player 1. Player 2 is going to be the Xbox account. So as soon as I get into the lobby, or as soon as it says connecting rather on the bottom left, which I'll show you in a minute, then you want to join up, and it should say waiting for party. It should say that your party's in game. But you need to make sure that it has less than 12 players in your alt account's lobby. So if it has a full game where the game's already started and immediately starts to count down, you won't actually get in. But it only takes a couple of attempts. It typically takes me around a minute or two just to do this. As soon as you actually connect and there's less than 12 players, typically speaking, you will fill that gap. You will fill that last place in the lobby. And what's going to happen is you'll join them in their pre-game lobby, and then the alt account can then leave. Now eventually the alt account will drop off the player list and you have successfully done the glitch at this point. Essentially what has happened, for those who don't fully understand, is you have hijacked your alt account's lobby. So just to recap, the alt account searched for a game, and as soon as it said connecting, which at that point they had found a lobby, you joined them. And then at that point, once you had successfully joined their pre-game lobby before the game had started, then they left the game. Thus you are in a lower skill lobby. So morality wise, this glitch is a little bit questionable, but don't shoot the messenger. I just like posting glitches, and just to keep it in perspective for you guys, this glitch has been around for multiple past Call of Duties. This is not a new glitch. This is a glitch that I'm just reporting on from Modern Warfare 3. If they want to fix this glitch, they can, and if they don't, then it will continue to happen. So I personally fully expect this to be in Black Ops 6. This is something that they are not prioritizing. This is something that not a lot of players have the ability to do. This is something that is resource intensive, right? You need an Xbox and you need a PC, or you need two devices in general in your household, such as two PCs. It doesn't matter. The point is that this is a glitch that not a lot of players are going to be able to do. But if you can, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is the funnest glitch I've ever had. I mean, personally speaking, being in a lobby like this on Rust and being able to, you know, drop, I think 186 was the highest that I've gotten on Rust. 186 in a single game of small map mosh pit. So that's 186 kills in around 15 minutes or less. So I mean, that is extremely fun, but again, morality wise, it's a little bit questionable, but they can fix this if they want. You can send this over to them. I really don't care. Season 4 is here, and with it comes a brand new method to upgrade your guns to Pack-a-Punch level 4 after the latest patch. Now with this method, you'll be able to one-shot bosses in tier 3 and kill the red worm in record time. So if you would, smash that like button below and subscribe if you haven't already to support me for free. With that, let's get right into the requirements for this glitch. So here we are in the main menu. So you're going to need a specific loadout to actually do this glitch, but trust me, once you get used to it, it is very easy to keep track of. So first of all, you're going to notice here a couple of things. Number one, I have a weapon in my inventory slot, as well as a Molotov cocktail. Now those are the two things that you're going to need from the bottom, but up top what you're going to need is a wonder weapon case, whichever wonder weapon you want to be Pack-a-Punch level 4, because this can only be done with wonder weapons. You're also going to need a Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal or the essence to upgrade your weapon, as well as a legendary Aether tool. Those are needed just simply to get your gun to the maximum amount of damage. They're not absolutely required, but they're highly suggested. You're also going to need some type of self-revive, whether that be a dog or a self-revive. Once you make it in-game, be careful not to do a few things. First of all, do not open up the weapons case that you want to upgrade to level 4. That is super important. Save that for later and go ahead and grab your existing Tombstone items if you're doing the Tombstone duplication glitch while doing this glitch. I'll leave that video linked down below if you don't know what I'm talking about, but let's continue. So as far as usable items, you're going to need a Juggernaut kill streak for this. It's similar to the previous method, but it is different. I'm telling you guys, it is a different location altogether. You're also going to need a military key card. So the ones for the military strongholds, those are the ones that you're going to need. You're going to need a single card to do this glitch. Now you only need to get one key card to actually do this, so you can acquire this through the game, through missions and such, or you can simply get the essence up and purchase it from a tier 3 buy station. That is where you're going to find the Juggernaut kill streak offered for 10,000, and then the military key card is going to be 2,000. So in total, you're going to need just simply 12,000 essence to actually do it. But if you're doing, say, red worm or, you know, tier 3 bounty contracts or anything like that, 12,000 should be nothing for you to get. If it takes you, you know, 10-15 minutes, whatever, it does not matter, especially if you're on a team and you simply need the 10,000 one time for someone to actually duplicate their item and upgrade it. So what's going to be happening is you're going to purchase both of those items. As you can see here, I have both of those, and I'm going to find my way over to a military stronghold. Now previously you would get the weapons raid contract where you do the raid stash contract where you put the drill onto the safe. You're no longer going to be using those. You're actually going to be using a military stronghold. Now if you're not really familiar with these as much as other people, I always make sure that, you know, people understand my videos no matter your amount of knowledge of Modern Warfare Zombies. And I'll tell you, military strongholds, all you need to do is just clear them out of the mercenaries, and there's going to be a safe that is within it, but it works a little bit differently, and I'll explain why in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to tier 1 because I am an absolute baby. I don't want to risk anything, especially when I'm recording a video. So I'm just going to go to tier 1 with a level 3 pack-a-punch scorcher, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock this stronghold. So once I make it in, you just want to make sure that you clear out all the mercenaries. Now, this is the point where a dog would come in handy. If you do have a dog bone, this is why I like to use the dog bone, especially when I'm doing this glitch. You should find a safe somewhere within the building. I found it here, but obviously I needed to clear out the mercenaries. The last thing that you want to do is have a mercenary down you when you're not paying attention. But before you actually do the last step to this glitch, go into your settings if you are on console and go under gameplay. Now, where you're going to find it is down below towards the bottom. You're going to see interact and reload behavior, and switch it to tap to interact. Now, if you're on PC, there is no setting in the settings for that. The reason is PC players tap and console players hold typically, and what this is going to allow you to do is do this glitch a lot easier. And in fact, you really should use tap to interact in general. So make sure that your bullet weapon is in slot 2 at this point, and also make sure you have a self revive available. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and throw down a Molotov cocktail at your feet, and as soon as your health hits 40, you're going to use the safe. Now, typically speaking, a second's a long time, right? I would say kind of halfway through that second. So as soon as you see 40, wait the slightest split second and then click X. And that's how I've gotten it to work. It actually took me 3 tries total. I had to go to that ammo depot that you can see on my mini map at the top left to actually reload on Molotov cocktails. But once you get it done, you should have a blank inventory space, or a blank weapon slot rather, when you cycle through your weapons. And you're going to use your weapons case on that blank slot. All right, so it's like you don't even have your hands out, you're completely blank. That's how you know that you actually did it correctly. And once you use your weapons case on it, you're going to notice that it's gray. So at this point, you've essentially done mule kick. If you played any past zombies, you know what mule kick is. It's 3 weapons. That's what it means. So all it is you have 3 weapons at this point, but you're actually going to lose one in a little bit. So what I want you to do is go ahead and use that legendary ether tool on your bullet weapon that is in your second slot. All right, so I know it's a little bit complicated, but just keep up with me. Once you have applied that legendary ether tool to that secondary slot weapon, you want to call in your juggernaut. Now, this is the very, very last step to this glitch. What you're going to do is you're going to use the juggernaut with your wonder weapon out. So the one that is gray, the one that is in your fake, or rather hidden third slot, you're going to grab the juggernaut with. And as soon as you get out, you're going to notice that your weapon now has the legendary ether tool applied to it. Now at this point, you've lost that bullet gun. So if you care about your insured weapons, I really don't care because I don't play that often. I play once a day or something like that, so my cooldowns don't really affect me. If you play all the time, I would suggest going in with one singular weapon and then purchase another one off the wall to do this glitch. But once you've actually gotten that legendary wonder weapon in your hands, then you can use that pack-a-punch level 3 crystal, or you can go to a upgrade machine and actually upgrade it to pack-a-punch level 3. So anyway, what I wanted to do next is I wanted to test out this weapon and see just how powerful it was, because that was the main question, right? Is this the same as it was before? And I gotta say, it is definitely powerful, but my aim is absolutely terrible. That is one thing that's for sure. So first of all, I tried on this bounty contract for this mangler, and it did not go well. I did not hit him the first shot, which was kind of embarrassing. So I thought to myself, I need to hit an abomination. So I went ahead and found one, and as you can see, as long as you hit whatever lit up ahead is, you can literally kill an abomination in about 2 shots. It's kind of crazy. So you can see again, after many months, there was finally an update for the acquisition stash glitch bypass. So today, I'm going to go through what this means for your current glitched items, if you have any, as well as what you need to do in order to never run out of items in Season 4 of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies and beyond. So be sure to like and subscribe to support. Let's get right into this. So starting off, let's look right at the patch notes. For the June 4th patch, they added this one line right at the bottom that says addressed an exploit bypassing the stash size limits involving Elder Sigils. Now, if you're not aware of what this means, essentially once you hit the 20 out of 20 limit, there was actually a way that you could go above 20 out of 20, and that was involving Elder Sigils. You would essentially throw one in one of your final slots of your rucksack, and then you would change operators here at the bottom left, and you would change to an operator that has a smaller rucksack. Now what this would do is essentially it would force those items in those slots that now do not exist, right? Because they have a smaller bag, and it would force them into your acquisition stash. However, now you'll see there is a brand new screen that will come up and force you to manage those items. Now, I've seen this screen before, so it's not exactly brand new, but all I'm saying is that this flow is new. It is every single time that this comes up, it forces you to stop and either delete those items or swap them with existing items in your acquisition stash, but you can't add new ones. You can't essentially bypass the limit on this. So let's go through exactly what I think that you should do right now and what I've done with my stash. So you can see here, I'm 20 out of 20, and I've mentioned it on many videos. I used to have about like 80 out of 20 items. Now this is from the original acquisition stash glitch. So, but this advice will work for anyone regardless of if you currently have above 20. I suggest clearing the entire stash and then doing the solo tombstone duplication glitch, which I will link down below, and essentially having a backup of your most important items, and you can get about like 2 or 3 sets of these items. For example, I like the Scorcher, Dog Bone, Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal, Elder Sigils for going to the Dark Aether, everything like that. I like having those things on standby, so I have about 2 sets of each backed up, including the ones that are already in my rucksack and the tombstone items that are already in game when I start a game, right? Because I'm doing the tombstone duplication glitch every time that I play. All of those things combined, you'll have at least 3 to 5 backups of the same items that you need in order to do whatever you want to do, whether that be the red worm or the dark ether. So that's why I personally suggest that you just clear your glitch stash if you have one and fill 20 out of 20 items with important stuff, and always do the tombstone. What's going on, guys? Wesley here. In today's video, I'm not only going to show you how to instantly unlock the new schematics in Season 3 Reloaded Dark Aether, guaranteed every single time. I'm also going to show you how you can unlock the new secret blueprint for Modern Warfare 3 zombies very easily. I'm also giving away all the new schematics absolutely free to a few lucky subscribers, so make sure that you like the video and comment down below. What is your favorite item in Modern Warfare 3 zombies? Mine personally is the dog bone. Unlimited revives and distractions for the Dark Aether make my life so much easier. So with that, let's get right into the video. So first of all, if you want the zombie blueprint and the schematics in one run, make sure that you have 4 to 6 people. You're going to use an Elder Sigil. My friend Mebs and I found randoms first try. They weren't exactly all competent, but the more guns, the better. So speaking of guns, let's go over inventory. So I highly suggest that you have a bunch of Casimir grenades and self-revives to fill most of your inventory. Each additional Casimir grenade will make your life much easier. For weapons, one person at least needs a VR11 that has been upgraded. I'd suggest a Scorcher to start missions fast, and everyone should have a normal bullet weapon as well. Now, not listed here is the Brain Rot ammo mod. I highly suggest everyone equip it. You'll see why here in a minute. I also highly suggest using this website WZ Hub or Warzone Hub. They have interactive maps for each Dark Aether. I'm going to have this one linked in the description down below. I have no affiliation to them whatsoever, just FYI, but it shows you where the contracts are all over the map. Even shows you safe spots, guys. Safe spots where you cannot get hit for whatever reason. You're on top of buildings or what have you. So that's a very cool website, very useful if you pull it up while you're doing this. So what you want to do is, once you get into the Dark Aether, make your way over to the first contract. We're going to do the escort contract first because I have a lot of suggestions here that will save you a ton of time. First of all, one person obviously needs a Scorcher. Fly over to the contract. Now, they're not bunnies anymore. You're going to see them as beams of light, similar to the mystery box in all, zombies maps since the beginning of time. What you want to do is just interact with it, and each one should give you an item that you can then use. I instantaneously picked this one up so you don't see it. The one for the Outlast contract is absolutely the best. We'll go over that in a minute. So once you've activated the contract, make sure you don't get hit by the escort. I almost went down here, I imagine, because I was very close to getting crushed by it. Go ahead and activate the escort contract instantly. Now at this point you could throw a sentry gun on it, but what I found is if you have 4 to 6 people and one person has that upgraded VR11, it makes your life so much easier. So watch this real quick. So my friend gets the actual crystal to use it, and what you're gonna see here is we're at 60 something percent, 68%, and it goes straight up to 97. Now if you didn't know, a upgraded VR11 heals vehicles, and that includes escort vehicles. So that is a huge suggestion. In fact, I would say that it's a requirement because this is the hardest mission that solo wise I failed multiple times. The second thing is each time that the escort stops, you should be throwing down Casimir grenades. So you saw it in that first clip, and you should see it in this clip as well. What happens is essentially all of these zombies actually get pulled into it and can't attack it. So you can actually see it here in action on the last one. The last stop is the hardest, guys. 100%. You need to be very, very careful and save your Casimir grenades for this point. Now I highly suggest that you have ones left over. Now zombies will periodically drop the Casimir grenades, so you need to make sure that you're picking them up and saving them. You need as many Casimir grenades for the actual final boss for the blueprint if you're going for that. Otherwise, don't worry about using them, just simply waste them on all of these contracts. So you can see I'm already at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. You can check the interactive map for all the contract locations. This one is up north in the dead center. It's very easy to find. This one overall was the easiest contract that we did. I highly suggest that if you have a team of 4 to 6 players, that you just make sure that you're shooting whatever head is lit up. That will speed up the time. But this contract took us about 60 seconds total, and we weren't even focused on the head. So it's very, very easy to do. Just so you know, that actually skips over some health. You can see the right one there was lit up there, but we just melted through the boss because, again, Pack-a-Punch level 3 weapons makes it super, super easy. So as you can see here, I got a little bit unlucky. I didn't get a schematic that time either. However, all of my teammates were getting the schematics. I already have them, unlocked, so I was really just here to, actually help out my teammates, but it doesn't really matter. So with the Outlast contract, which is going to be actually north of the escort contract, it's on the right side of the map, so it's on the eastern part of the map all the way to the right. All right, so this one is super easy to find. It's by the water tower, and you want to make sure that you pick up the item for this. Now the severed foot that you pick up, any zombies that you shoot, it seems, will slow down and kind of have that frostbite effect. So you'll notice it with a lot of these zombies while we're fighting them. It makes it super easy, but all you want to do is just run around, fire off your Scorcher at full blast in the most open area possible in the center, and what that's going to do is just melt zombies while you run around and avoid them. But again, Casimir grenades, you saw me throw one down, and made my life so much easier. So once you're done with all 3 contracts, make your way over to the center island. This is going to be the portion of the video where I show you how to unlock the blueprint. It's pretty simple, but it's very important that you do this boss fight in a particular manner, and it will make your life so much easier. First of all, don't use a Scorcher for eggs. I don't know I might as well be a beginner player. I don't know what I was thinking. So I pull out my bullet gun, obviously shoot them with my akimbos, and make sure that your teammates actually follow you, because as that timer runs out on the left, the circle closes on you. It's not like the normal map where it starts to close into the center or wherever it closes right into the last bit for the red worm. This one follows you, so your teammates need to actually follow you. So going back, you can check that map that I showed you or click it in the description down below. There's 4 eggs that you need to essentially destroy. 3 of them are small, and then 1 is large. So there was one on the end of the island, one on the other end, one north, right, north of this one, and then there's the main one. Now as soon as you destroy this big one, the boss will spawn. Now here's how it works. All right, so you remember Union, right? The new season 3 reloaded mission. If you haven't played it, all right, make sure that you take note of this. So as that health bar is gray at the top, you cannot damage the boss, and the reason for that is you have to kill these ads, or these secondary enemies. All right, the ones with the white skulls. Make sure that you are absolutely paying attention to them. You can see them without looking at them. That's how you know which one to kill. So you can see, you have your normal red skull ones, but then you also have these ones where they have these white skulls above their head. So make sure that you destroy them before you start attacking the boss. Also, avoid the boss. Don't get too close, because you can see his health is just running up because I'm just feeding him. All right, so I'm not helping my teammates at all. I'm literally killing time, and at this point we have 2 minutes before the storm is closed. All right, keep in mind that timer on the left is how long it's going to take until you are just forever in the storm. So unless you have, a mask and you're right next to an ammo cache or something like that, you are absolutely screwed. All right, so hurry up. So what you want to do is essentially, with all of those saved Casimir grenades, start to periodically throw them down, kill the ads, and then shoot the boss. That's the order. That's the 3 steps that you need to remember, all right, to actually win this boss fight. And what you're going to notice here is we absolutely melt him. I think this was a bit of the VR11, as well as people shooting his head directly. So make sure that you were shooting criticals on him. I was not that useful here, but as you can see, you have 4 opportunities to actually get the schematics. Now at this point, once you have killed the boss, go to exfil. At this point, you have the blueprint unlocked. I did not get the pop-up, so even if you don't get the pop-up, make sure that you go out and actually check for the item. So make sure, again, you can see how small this circle is. If all of your teammates start running away from you, you are going to get eaten by the storm, right? It follows your team, so make sure that everyone sticks together. Make your way over to the exit, and then also make sure that you give up whatever schematics that you don't need. If you've gone through this once and you have something, be nice to people, all right? Even if you're playing with randoms, because as soon as you exit this right here, you will not keep the schematics. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you're doing this correctly and helping out others, right? Because that's the way that you should play. So anyway, so once you're actually done with this, as you can see, I'm containment level 46, absolutely baller rank. I'm so happy right now. Like, it makes life so much easier. But you're actually going to unlock that stuff, and you want to go out into the menu and search under assault rifles. You're going to find the Ram 7. This is where your blueprint is located. You can obviously equip this and open gunsmith down there at the bottom, and then you can modify this gun to actually be what you want it to be. But it's a really cool animated skin, yet another exclusive. Today I'm going to show you how you can save days or even weeks of time unlocking all the new camos and guns, including multiple glitches and methods that I've optimized to help you unlock anything from the new one-trick camo to even Borealis in no time. Now, to make sure I help out my viewers as much as possible, I'm going to show you glitches and methods for every single game mode and a few tips that you aren't aware of that can double or even triple your XP rates. So without delay, let's get right into these methods. And before we start the first one, make sure that you have double XP tokens available, or better yet, do this on a double XP weekend for free. That will allow you to save your double XP tokens for after those double XP weekends. You can max your guns in no time in a weekend. Trust me guys, if you grind this out with these methods I'm about to show you, it will make your life so much easier. So let's get right into it. First of all, we are in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and I'm going to show you 2 major glitches that people use in order to get Borealis and other camos that are needed for zombies. Now, this applies to weapons in general, right? Remember, all of your weapon levels are not specific to a game mode. So what you can do in zombies that makes it really, in my opinion, the best way to level up your guns as far as effort versus reward goes, is that you can use these Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystals as well as legendary ether tools in order to actually max out the experience. So you can see here, this is one of the methods I'm going to be showing you guys. It's called exfil boosting, and it allows you to double, triple, or quadruple the amount of zombies in which that you have at an exfil. Now, full disclosure, this method in tier 2 is a little bit hectic, so if you consider yourself an amateur player as far as movement or aim goes, I highly suggest that you do this in tier 1. It won't have that much of effect on it, except for there's going to be less special zombies. I've noticed there's just more in tier 2. Maybe that's just my games, but if you already have a tombstone on the map from the tombstone duplication glitch, make sure you go and grab all of your items there before you start this, just in case you go down or you lose something. If you're not already doing that glitch, make sure you check it out in the description down below. I'll have my all working glitches video linked there. So what you want to do is go ahead and find your way to a normal exfil. Now, the difference is it doesn't have a star on it. That's it. It's very simple. It's the original exfils that we used at the start of the game before you started unlocking all these special new ways to get out of the map and do the tombstone glitch. So what you want to do is come over here and essentially start killing zombies like normal. You're going to leave a couple of zombies behind in the inn, but what you are essentially waiting for is for the helicopter to get in and to leave. Also, just as a footnote, you can activate double XP tokens by pressing start mid-game, thus saving you time when you go to reactivate them at the start of a game. So you can get ready and then, you know, apply your double XP. But what you want to wait for is essentially the helicopter to start flying away. I usually go off of noise, so once the helicopter stops making noise and you don't hear, you know, the propellers spinning, then you should be good to go. And what you want to do is, as soon as it's gone, go about 300 meters away from the exfil, and then all you want to do, just to simplify the process, guys, wait until it turns blue. That is the easy method, but if once you get used to this, you'll notice you only really have to stay about 200 to 300 meters away for about 10 seconds. Now, when you come back and activate the exfil again, what you're going to notice is that the amount of zombies has doubled, tripled, or quadrupled. Now, it kind of depends on how many you leave. It's kind of like an algorithmic thing. There's really no way to tell what the best possible way to do it is, but as you'll see in a second, it gets absolutely hectic, and this is just super fun, and it's just a really easy and fun way for you to level up your guns. Now, the sheer amount of zombies that show up at these exfils is super important here, because each zombie that you kill can actually contribute to the amount of XP bonuses that you get at the end of the game, as well as the essence that you extract with. So if you do the Tombstone duplication glitch, you can kind of cycle through weapons very quickly, set up new classes, and come right back in and get to the exfils extremely quickly to actually repeat this process. So this is my personal favorite method, but let's get into the second method for Modern Warfare 3 zombies. Now, the second method is really nice, but it's more for the laid back player in my opinion. You can actually abuse this glitch that is almost AFK, very close. If you could figure out how to automatically shoot your gun and grab ammo, that is, you could do this 24/7 AFK. So I'm going to take you right through the steps for this glitch. It involves the Outlast contract. It is very easy to do, and you can do this solo or as a team. It does not matter. So let's get right into the steps for this glitch. You can do this anywhere on the map, and I highly suggest again that you do it in tier 2. Now, if you have access to Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystals, obviously tier 2 is the best place to do this. I wouldn't suggest tier 3 just because you don't get a lot of benefit or bang for your buck, if you will. So go ahead and find yourself a tier 2 or tier 1 contract for Outlast, and what you're going to do is essentially run up the percentage. What you're going to do is run it up until it is above 90, and then you're going to go ahead and cancel the contract. Keep in mind, if you are on a team, then you're going to have to wait for them to accept the contract as well, so just make sure everyone is paying attention. Many times I have started an Outlast contract and essentially let it run to 100 not paying attention and had to go to another location. So what's going to happen whenever you cancel above 90% is the zombies will not stop spawning. Now, if you're in tier 2, you will also get special zombies that spawn as well as dogs. Tier 1, I'm pretty sure dogs do spawn for all Outlast contracts, maybe even special zombies. I'm not going to verify that because simply put, I do everything in tier 2, honestly. So next up, let's go over the Warzone methods. So these are super easy to do, and I highly suggest that you do them in the new loaded resurgence mode. It's going to give you the best advantage for XP rates while it's still around. So make sure you have a decoy grenade, frag grenade, and then for your perk package, scavenger, double time, resupply, and ghost. Now, you're also going to need obviously a weapon that you want to level up for. I would highly suggest that regardless, again, of what your objective is. If your objective is player level, still bring in a low level weapon that you have that doesn't have any attachments, etc., because each level that you get and each camo that you unlock also gives you general XP. So what you're going to be doing is going into loaded resurgence as a solo player. Make sure fill squad is turned off. You can do that at the bottom left of your pre-game lobby menu. So once you get into the game, what you want to do is throw your decoy grenades immediately into the most populated area. So what I like to do is I like to pull my parachute early and make sure that I know where all the players are dropping and fighting. Typically that's somewhere around prison. And what you're going to do is throw your decoy grenades first and foremost. Now, I don't know if your field supply actually just always spawns on you right when you start. It likely does. I can see it on the right there on this lobby as well. Long story short, throw your resupply if you have it. I highly suggest that you have that little armory box with you. Also, what you'll see now is the utility box that you've seen around, and it'll be able to let you resupply your decoy grenades. And so your goal here, as you can see those decoy assists popping up, is to be getting decoy assists while you're getting kills. But not only that, here's another tip for you guys that is extremely important. What you want to do is prioritize surviving when you first land, because if you play this game mode by yourself, every time that you land, every time that you touch the ground, whenever you respawn, you have a timer, usually from 10 to 20 seconds, that you have to wait for in order for you to actually respawn next time and not lose the game. So what you want to do is avoid players for that amount of time, then immediately go gung-ho, throw a couple of decoys into the areas that you see other players, fight them. If you die, you die. If you can't find players, you hold your grenade and you respawn that way. That way, you can maximize the amount of XP that you're getting without wasting it. Lastly, we have multiplayer. Now for multiplayer, I highly suggest that you have a similar class setup that you did in Resurgence. You can see I have my BP50 out, but I also now have a couple of attachments for it. Now for multiplayer, I would highly suggest that you at least get an optic on your gun, just because it makes it a lot easier to actually get the kills here versus in Resurgence. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. But what we're going to be searching for is small map mosh pit. We're going to have scavenger gloves. We're going to have decoy grenades and a frag grenade, as well as a low level bullet weapon, just so that we can start leveling it up while we are doing this. So what you're going to do is throw your decoy grenades and then hold a grenade if you don't immediately find people. But you're going to get into the groove of things like I did here, and you're going to notice, look in the middle of the screen, you can see the decoy assists keep coming up, but I'm also fighting enemies and getting kills. So it's important that you pay attention to whatever your sight lines are, and if you can't immediately find an enemy, make sure that you hold a grenade until you die, and then you can respawn instantaneously. So this isn't like Resurgence. You don't have to maintain anything. You will be destroying your KD if you focus more on the decoy grenades, but generally speaking, what I like to do is throw both my decoys, try to get a quick kill or two to even out my KD, and then after that, I just, at this point, for example, I should have held my grenade. And what that's going to do is you're going to save all of this time that you see me wasting right here in order to actually respawn and do it again. You see, I realize it there, I down myself, and then I immediately have 2 decoy grenades again. So each kill that someone else makes, you're going to get that decoy assist, as you can see there. You're also going to get assist for shooting your gun, and you also need to be aiming just for normal kills. So generally speaking, if you're on Stash House, for example, this map is extremely easy to continuously get kills on, like you can see here. And so what I'll typically do is throw both my decoy grenades, run through the middle of the map, go gung-ho, and let someone kill me, essentially. You can see here, I have my pistol out. I'm not really caring what I'm shooting. The main goal here is to just add up as many points as possible, because a lot of them will be going to your gun. So if you guys appreciate this video, today, I'm going to show you multiple glitches that will allow you to do the Tombstone duplication glitch solo, and if you lose your Tombstone, these glitches will help you restock and set a new Tombstone all in one game. Now this video includes a few under the map glitches with insane drops, as well as a few new secret missions that have 100% drop rate on some extremely useful rare items. Best of all, you can do all of this in a single game, and I'm going to show you start to finish what to do. Now this video of course will be included in my all working glitches compilation. I'm going to start continuing to do those schematic giveaways as a part of those videos. You can find that video in the description down below, but of course this will be included in my future videos. Now we all know how long this new zombie game mode takes. If you're waiting on schematic cooldowns and you lose your Tombstone, it can set you back literally days, unless you come across a nice stranger or a friend who's online willing to give you their items. I'm going to show you start to finish a single game that I played where I had every single one of these glitches done, and let you guys rate it for yourself how good these methods are. Now, if you're in a bind like the one that I just described, having to wait hours for schematic crafting cooldowns, these glitches just may save your life. So make sure that you write these down, make sure you know them in the back of your head just in case you need them, and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate your support, but let's get right into these methods. Now, if you have a Tombstone already on the map, obviously go and grab your items. You are going to be resetting your Tombstone as usual, but let me show you the first place that we're going to do a glitch on where it's going to give you insane loot. Now, you may be aware of this spot, but the second glitch that I'm going to show you guys that is completely different from this and you actually kill the warlord with is right next to it. So what you're going to do is find this lamppost in the cave here, and this is going to be the Easter egg bypass glitch. All you need to do is hold forward and fire your scorcher up and then fire it 2 more times. It's very easy to actually get into this, but you will need a blood burner key. Now this one is kind of optional. If you want to do this, you can. This one will not actually give you weapons cases, but it will give you rare items, 7,000 essence minimum, as well as different rare items that you can possibly get. So this is just a random roll of loot, if you will, but typically there is a lot of cool stuff in here. First of all, 3-plate vest, I actually needed that. Then you go in here and you can see I have 3,500 more. Typically you will have some type of wonder weapon in there as well. This one is one that we have already known of. Now I'm going to show you the brand new glitch that I found, but what you're going to have to do is get back into where you just were. So first of all, you can see I'm firing up. I fired 3 times, and we're going to make our way back over to that area. Now this again is completely different from the first glitch, so let me show you how to do it. Now this one I would describe as a little bit more advanced. Now this one is for the players that know how to do the Superman glitch, as I like to call it. It's not really a glitch, but it allows you to fly through the air very fast using an upgraded Scorcher. So if you have an upgraded Scorcher, doesn't matter if it's level 3, 2, or 1, you can actually do this method. So I'm going to describe this very, very carefully. So what you want to do is essentially jump off and immediately immediately pull your parachute. And what you're going to do is cut your parachute and then fire your scorcher at 50%. Pretty much, long story short, just watch what I do here. You can see I pull it here and then I start flying towards the edge, towards the water. Look at the top left of the screen, pay attention to that, and make sure you replay this part of the video. This is me doing it successfully. You can see I fire off my scorcher before I get to the water, and what that's going to do is you're going to fly through the water. If you don't do this and you don't turn around, you will drown. That is a known fact. But if you do this correctly, it's very easy to practice and you can keep going back and forth. I've heard that if you fall into the depths of the map, right, if you just fall all the way down into the abyss, you'll start to appear on the map again, up above ground. Someone told me that. I haven't tested it, so if that works for you, make sure you comment down below. Just don't get yourself drowned. Just swim away from the body of water. If you look up here, you can see on the right there would be no water, and on the left there would be water, right? For that as an example. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over to the right side of the island. You're gonna look for this red boat underwater. Now, be careful here, because if you go to the right of it, way over to the right like I did, you can actually get stuck. But all you need to do is just spam cut parachute and deploy and face a couple of different directions and you'll get out. So here I go. So here's how you actually defeat Rainmaker without going in. You can see I have a group of randoms who actually invited me, and I'm actually going to kill it for them. So you want to just swim up directly towards the boat, and what you're going to notice is right next to it is this large rock. So what this large rock is some place that you can actually go prone and actually crawl under the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up right here and I'm going to lay down. And so what you want to do is you want to crawl forward and just keep crawling forward until you get to a particular area. Now over here on the left, you're going to see the actual tip of this rock. This is where you're actually going to get under the map. All you need for this one is a scorcher. It's very easy to do. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to be able to go inside of the building underneath it. So what you want to do is fire your scorcher twice. Once you're done firing it twice, you're going to be in this little sandy area. You're going to be a little bit above where you were before. You won't fall off the map at this point. Simply just crawl forward until you can crouch, and what it's going to allow you to do is actually go underneath the building. Now, to actually kill Rainmaker, you need to kill a bunch of his minions. Essentially, you need to sit here and kill minions, but don't worry, because you are in a complete god mode glitch. It's very easy to do. So all you want to do is just walk around and keep firing your scorcher or your gun or your ether blade. It really doesn't matter what you use. Just make sure that you are killing them and making sure that you resupply on ammo, because right there in the middle of the room you can actually jump up and resupply your ammo. So this is completely, complete god mode, unlimited ammo, everything like that. So as you can see, I'm just mowing down the enemies. So at a particular point, you're going to need to go unlock a door. You're going to get like the NPC friendlies, if you will, telling you to go unlock a door. That door is located right here, right near the beginning, and so all you need to do is unlock it, and you can open the door. But as soon as you unlock it, the boss will spawn and he'll come up from upstairs to the downstairs area, and you just need to simply just kill him. I mean, it's very easy. He's gonna try to aim at you multiple times, but he can't because you are physically under the ground. But however their AI is set up, it can actually like detect that you're there. So long story short, you just want to kill him. I thought he was gonna spawn like the rift on his dead body, so I wanted to make sure he was on the first floor. It doesn't matter where you kill him, the rift will spawn here. Now this one will actually give you weapons cases, which is extremely useful, as well as a couple of other rare items. So for example, I happen to get a 3-plate vest and a purple weapon. Now it's completely random what you could get. Maybe you could get another wonder weapon that's already outside of its case or something like that. I have no idea. But to get out, just follow the path that I do. Come to this corner right here and fire your scorcher while you hold forward, right? So walk forward and fire your scorcher just like you got into the Easter egg bypass with. And what you're gonna do is just simply fire yourself out of the ground. Now I saw another video where someone went down and they said you need to have self revives. That's not the case. You can get out right at that location. Alright, now that those two glitches are outlined, I'm going to show you guys the 3 secret missions that you can do in order to get Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystals, as well as legendary ether tools 100% of the time, and you can get up to 6 per person. I'm not kidding. It is insane how OP this is, and you don't need anything except for an upgraded weapon, obviously, to survive in tier 3, or even possibly just have 3 people with ether blades. If you have those on your person and you have no upgraded weapons, you can do that as well. So you're going to look for these triangles symbols, and you're going to shoot these symbols on the wall. Now, I already showed you where I actually went, so if you need to go back and check like how I got here, feel free. But once you shoot those symbols, you'll start to notice there's purple lines on the buildings. All it is it's a triangle that you essentially need to coordinate. So you just come into this position and it'll trigger this because you kind of made the shape of the triangle. It's an Easter egg essentially. So what you're gonna do is you just need to kill zombies within the circle. Now with a Scorcher, it's extremely easy to do. Now this one is typically the easiest one that I've done, but I think they turned it up a little bit because before it was dead easy and now it's like a little bit difficult as a single player, not really hard at all, just a little bit difficult. So what you're gonna get is you're gonna get 2000 essence, a legendary Aether tool, as well as a Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal. So I had no idea that this existed before, but once someone told me, I was like, oh man, like I've been in so many different situations, guys, where I needed a Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal or I needed a legendary Aether tool, and it's always specific moments. But the second mission, the second secret mission, is right behind where you just were. Literally just jump off the edge behind you and shoot these 3 symbols, and then you want to make your way over to this area right here. So this is right behind where you were just seeing me. Just follow the lines, honestly, and what you're going to do is back up into this little room, and that will shape the triangle, thus triggering the mission. Now I found the best place to stand for this one is over on the right here. If you fire a fully charged up Scorcher shot and just stay over to the right, no zombies can spawn outside of your vision, and you can easily just kill all the zombies. So there you go, that is the second mission. And again, 2000 essence, legendary Aether tool, Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal, absolutely awesome loot, something that I would highly suggest that you do every single game, just simply to back it up, share with your friends, and make sure everyone has a loaded Tombstone, because this, in my opinion, this as well as the Scorcher is the most important. So as you can see, this is the third and final mission, and you just simply want to shoot those symbols where I did, and I suggest backing up to the edge here, and all you need to do is just shoot zombies obviously as they get in. But the only thing that you need to make sure for this one is watch out for manglers. Manglers can both shoot you off as well as they can actually jump up right behind you here, which you will actually see in a second. I actually get knocked off right before I finish. So you can see right here, I'm like, okay, what's going on? I see him, I think I'm killing him right there, but he actually jumps up right behind me and smacks me right off, as you can see here. Luckily, I had a random teammate who came in and got the last kill for me, thus completing this mission. But generally speaking, it's very, very easy as well. This was my personal favorite one, other than that one that's on the catwalk. So anyway, so once you're done with this, you just want to go up to the portal and make sure that you grab your loot. Now, after you're done with all of this, right, you should have a setup Tombstone. You should be good to go. You got a random wonder weapon. Season 4 is out, and today I have an unlock all glitch for Modern Warfare 3 that will allow you to use any weapon that is locked, even if it's in the battle pass, which means this glitch includes everybody's favorite, the Kar 98K, which as of this recording is in the Season 4 battle pass. But there's no need to purchase it. As long as you do this glitch before it gets patched, you can level up guns and upgrade them. You can add attachments to them once you level them up and unlock those attachments. You can pretty much use these weapons as normal. As you can see here, I don't have the shield actually unlocked, but I was using it in game. So let's get right into how you actually do this glitch. So here we are in the main menu. Let's jump right into the requirements for this glitch. Now at the top left, you will see a label. This is my PC account. The reason why I have it labeled is because you will need 2 players to do this glitch. But before you fret, it can be done with any other person, regardless of if they were remote or in your house on a separate device, and it's extremely easy to do. So my PC account will be the friend helping you do this glitch, and my Xbox account will be the one actually unlocking the restricted weapon. Simple enough. So first of all, have your friend go to the Modern Warfare 3 menu, scroll to private match, and then open up the menu and hover over training course. This is super important. The first step to this glitch is we're essentially going to be joining this game as they're joining training course, which training course, if you didn't know, is a 1-player lobby. So what you're going to do on your Xbox or PlayStation 5 is you're going to click the right stick, open up your menu to view your friends, scroll over the friend that is about to click on training course, and hover over join party. So you're essentially going to be joining them as they start it up. So they're going to go ahead and click on training course now, and you're going to join as soon as the logo expands. That's how I I get it 100% of the time. You can rewatch this video over and over again if you want to get the timing down. It's very easy to get the timing down. If you are too late though, just know it will say full. It'll say essentially there's too many players, because again, this is a one person mode. So what we're going to do now is on the Xbox account, we're going to click start, and then we're going to click the battle pass. So once you get to the battle pass, you're going to notice weapons up here is displayed. Don't switch to it, don't click anything. What I want you to do is click start again, and you're going to go over to your player tab. Now, once you get over to your player tab, go down to edit showcase, and then you're going to click on showcase weapon. This is super important. Just follow the steps that I do, and then you're going to click swap on the weapon. Now you'll notice this one is base lock. Just ignore this. This is a byproduct of the current glitch. But what we're going to essentially be doing is you're going to now plug in your keyboard, and this is the point where you click F6 twice. Now, when you click F6 twice, it's some type of keyboard shortcut for the console. It's going to switch you over to classes. I presume on PC this does it. I'm a PC player. I don't even know about this. But anyway, so I clicked F6 twice and it pulls up your class. Now you may only have to press it once, but just know, just pull up your class. That's essentially it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in and go to the weapon that you want to unlock. In this case, it's the Car 98K. Now on my friend's account, on my PC account in this instance, remember we're both in the same party. I'm going to click start twice, and it's going to go ahead and error out, because again, this is a one player mode. You're glitched in a lobby, it's not going to be able to start. So you click start twice and you exit the error. Now on your Xbox, what you're going to do is just simply click the right trigger, or on your PS5 the right trigger, and then you're going to back out of that. So right trigger and then B or circle on PS5, and you're going to notice all the weapons are selectable. Do not click anything. Don't click A, don't click anything like that. What you want to do is hold X on Xbox, or square I presume on PS5. Look at the bottom of your screen and make sure it says equip and open gunsmith. That is the action that you want to perform. If you did this glitch right, you should be able to pull it up. Now keep in mind, you're going to be able to select, you know, attachments and things of that nature, because again, it's just like you're in a private match. However, the attachments will not go through, just the base weapon. Now don't fret though, because you assigning this onto your class, and you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and back out. So what I want you to do, just as a demonstration, I'll explain in a second, just click the B or circle button until you get back to this screen. You'll notice that the weapon is not the weapon that you just selected. It's not the Car 98K in my case. So I'm going to go back out all the way and go over to weapons, and you'll notice in my actual class I have the Car 98 selected, but it says base locked right there on the left. So it's important to remember, this is my real class, and you can even see it showing my PC account. This game is completely glitched out. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the party completely, just to demonstrate to you guys that this did in fact work. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my weapons tab here. And as you can see, to its glory, the Car 98K is unlocked. I don't need to buy the battle pass. I don't need to buy Black Cell. I don't need to play a single game in order to unlock this or any other gun that shows up. Now, just keep in mind, the only restriction for this glitch is that it works in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. It's very annoying, I know, but that is because Training Course is a multiplayer mode, apparently. So when you go to Training Course, obviously it is under that menu next to multiplayer, Warzone, etc. But when you back out of the battle pass menu, you are immediately put into multiplayer. Unfortunately, that's just how the game is coded, so therefore it only works for this. And as you can see, you can do this glitch over and over again. The only thing that you need to make sure that you do is that you reset each time that you do this. You can only set one weapon doing this glitch, and then you need to back out and essentially repeat the steps again. But as you can see, I do this at full speed here. It is very, very easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and hover over whatever weapon I want. You don't actually have to hover over it at this point, because what you'll notice is when you pull up the filters, it actually does, it resets the UI. So you can see here I have the Haymaker selected. Well, now I have the SVA, because it resets your UI, because you're filtering them essentially, but you're not actually applying anything, which is super annoying. Anyway, so I'm going to do it with the Riot Shield as well. I'm going to go ahead and equip it. It shows the FJX Horus for some reason, but when I go back and check my actual class, what you're going to see is that I do in fact have the Riot Shield. So That's just another quick tip for you guys. Make sure that you note that if you get any visual bugs, just ignore them and just pay attention to what you're selecting. But as you can see, this shield is not unlocked. This is something that I have not even used a single time. I didn't go into zombies and extract with it. You don't need to beg anyone to actually use this weapon. You're able to use the Kar 98K or any other weapon with ease without doing anything. Just make sure that you do this glitch before it gets patched, because just like the unlock all glitch in the past with attachments, the unlock all attachments glitch, which is now patched, that they did not actually patch the effect, they patched the method. So what I mean by that is if you do this glitch and save a class with a Kar 98K and you never unlock it as far as like legitimately goes, whenever they go and patch this, which they eventually will, probably very soon, just as a warning, you know, you're actually going to keep that class that you already assigned the Kar 98 to. So you can see here it's set as my showcase weapon, it's in my class, so that custom loadout 1 that I just set it on is not going to lose it whenever they patch this. I guarantee it, guys, because if they were to do that, they would outrage a lot of people. Think about it. How are they supposed to keep track of what's in your classes? They can filter out everyone and then like cross-reference, you know, database tables and say, okay, this person has it, but they don't have it unlocked, right? And you know, that's just a lot of work for something that does not make a difference. They're just interested in selling battle passes and making money off of players, which is totally fine with me. But the point I'm trying to make is you need to make sure that you do this glitch before it gets patched. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this into the game just to demonstrate to you guys that it is 100% legit. I don't want anyone questioning if or not this glitch actually works or not. It 100% does, and it's actually really cool. So it's a great way for you to actually try out weapons before you even go and try to unlock them. So if you know you're wondering about a Warzone meta loadout or something like that for a new gun like the Subverter or something that you haven't used before, right? You don't have to actually question if or not the gun is for you. You can actually go and level it up real quick, especially times like right now when seasons just dropped. Season 4 just dropped, so you have double XP all across the board on anything, whether that be weapon XP, player XP, or battle pass. So it's a great time for you to do a glitch like this, up, you know, you kind of upgrade or rather you know, level up weapons and get attachments for weapons that you don't typically use and try it out. So as you can see, this alt account has terrible lobbies, but you can see I'm actually able to use the riot shield. So if you guys appreciate this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for 19,000 subscribers, and I will catch you in the next video.